banned, shut out, erased from the guest list of what many royal watchers are calling the wedding of the year. And the question exploding across royal circles is impossible to ignore. How did Prince Harry and Meghan Markle go from being central figures in royal celebrations to becoming the relatives nobody even bothered to invite? Because this isn't about a state occasion. It isn't about protocol. It isn't about security. This was personal. Deeply personal. And according to many observers, the silence surrounding their exclusion may be speaking louder than any royal statement ever could.
Breaking today, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have just been banned from this year's major royal wedding. And it is a particular humiliation for the so-called Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
When Peter Phillips and Harriet Sperling began planning their wedding, excitement reportedly spread throughout royal circles. Family members prepared to gather. Familiar faces were expected to reunite. It was the kind of celebration that traditionally brings generations together under one roof. A moment where differences are temporarily forgotten and family bonds take center stage. At least that's how it usually works. But something about this wedding immediately felt different. There was an invisible shadow hanging over the guest list, and people soon began noticing a pair of names that were nowhere to be found.
Nor was Harry and Meghan. Now, a lot of people sort of expected this as, Harry and Meghan were not invited to the wedding.
At first, some wondered whether travel schedules were responsible. Others speculated there might have been private reasons for an absence. But then the reality started sinking in. Harry and Meghan weren't simply unavailable. They reportedly weren't invited at all. And suddenly, what should have been a joyful wedding became another chapter in one of the most dramatic royal family fractures in modern history.
Now, all the royals, the King, the Queen, of course, William, Kate, etc. Also, significantly, Princess Bee and Princess Eugenie, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's kids, controversially, they were there as well.
Think about that for a moment. This wasn't a coronation where invitations are controlled by official duties. This wasn't a state funeral where protocol dictates attendance. This was a family wedding. The kind of event where relationships matter more than titles. The kind of event where guest lists reveal who remains close and who has quietly drifted away. And if that's true, then Harry and Meghan's absence may reveal more than any palace insider ever could. For years, royal watchers have debated whether bridges between Harry and the family could still be rebuilt. Every public appearance sparked fresh speculation. Every photograph became evidence. Every glance was analyzed. Was reconciliation possible? Was there still a path back? But weddings have a way of exposing reality, because when someone plans one of the most important days of their life, they invite the people they genuinely want standing beside them. Not because tradition demands it, because their heart does.
Let's talk about Prince Harry. Of course, now he's been left off the guest list of this upcoming wedding for his cousin, Peter Phillips, who will be marrying Harriet Sperling. Now, it's interesting that Harry's been left off because it appears, or it's been written that as though the cousin's loyalty is lying with Prince William.
And that's where the story becomes uncomfortable. Reports suggest that since Harry and Meghan stepped away from royal duties, their connections with several family members have steadily weakened. Calls became less frequent. Gatherings became rare. Distance grew. Not just geographical distance between California and Britain, but emotional distance. The kind that develops quietly until one day people realize they no longer know each other the way they once did. Then came the reaction that allegedly sent shockwaves through royal gossip circles. Sources claimed Meghan felt embarrassed by the exclusion. And honestly, many people understand why. Missing an official event can always be explained away. Missing a family wedding is harder, much harder, because weddings aren't about public obligations, they're about personal relationships. They reveal who remains inside the circle and who has been left standing outside the gate. What makes the situation even more fascinating is the contrast with the past. There was a time when these family ties appeared strong. Harry attended Peter Phillips' first wedding years ago. Peter later attended Harry and Meghan's wedding. The connection existed. The smiles were there. The family photographs captured it all. Yet somewhere along the way, that connection appears to have faded. Not overnight, not through one single argument, but through years of controversies, interviews, accusations, books, documentaries, and growing mistrust. Observers began asking an uncomfortable question. If Peter felt close to Harry today, wouldn't Harry have been there? If the bond remained strong, wouldn't an invitation have naturally arrived? These questions linger because nobody has has publicly answered them. And in royal stories, unanswered questions often become the loudest clues of all. Then comes the part that many royal observers believe hurts the most. Not the missing invitation itself, but what that missing invitation seems to represent. For years, Harry could still point to moments that suggested some connection to the family remained. He attended Prince Phillips' funeral. He attended Queen Elizabeth II's funeral. Despite all the headlines, all the interviews, all the accusations and counter-accusations, there was still a visible thread connecting him to the institution and to the family he once called home. The relationship may have been damaged, but it wasn't completely gone. At least that's what many people believed. But this wedding exclusion has caused some royal watchers to wonder whether that final thread has now snapped completely. For Harry, the emotional impact may be far greater than many realize. Imagine watching cousins, relatives, and lifelong family members gather together for one of the happiest occasions of the year while you remain thousands of miles away. Or imagine knowing that conversations are happening, memories are being shared, laughter is filling the room, and yet you are not part of any of it. That is why this story has captured so much attention. It isn't just about a wedding invitation, it is about belonging. It is about whether Harry still has a meaningful place inside the family circle he left behind. There is another detail that keeps resurfacing whenever people discuss this situation. Harry has openly spoken in the past about missing aspects of royal family life. Not the official duties, not necessarily the ceremonies, but the simple family moments, the gatherings, the jokes, the shared history, the familiar faces filling hallways during holidays. Those memories become especially powerful when major family celebrations take place without you. Suddenly, the distance feels larger than an ocean. It feels permanent. Many observers believe this exclusion also sends a message about the future, because if family weddings operate on personal relationships rather than royal status, then being left off the guest list suggests something significant has changed behind the scenes. It suggests that titles alone are no longer enough to guarantee a place at the table. Relationships matter, trust matters, shared experiences matter, and perhaps most importantly, time matters. Years of separation have consequences. The ongoing tension between William and Harry only adds another layer to the mystery. Their fractured relationship has become one of the most discussed stories in modern royal history. Some insiders have speculated that having both brothers present at the same wedding might have shifted attention away from the bride and groom. Instead of celebrating the couple, headlines could have focused entirely on awkward encounters, uncomfortable photographs, and endless speculation about whether the brothers spoke to each other. If Peter Phillips wanted a peaceful and joyful wedding day, many believe avoiding that possibility may have been a factor in his decision. And perhaps that is the most revealing detail of all. There was a time when Harry's presence would have enhanced a royal event. Now, some believe his attendance could overshadow it. That transformation didn't happen overnight. It was built piece by piece through years of public disputes, controversial interviews, explosive revelations, and growing distrust. Every chapter added another brick to the wall, separating Harry from the family he once stood beside. Then there is Frogmore Cottage, a symbol that continues to haunt discussions about Harry's future relationship with Britain. For years, it represented a permanent connection, a place to return to, a reminder that no matter where life took him, there would always be a doorway back into royal life. But after the release of Spare, even that connection reportedly disappeared. To many royal watchers, losing Frogmore wasn't simply about losing a house, it was about losing an anchor, a final piece of certainty in an increasingly uncertain relationship. And that is why this wedding story refuses to disappear, because beneath the headlines lies a much bigger question. Was this simply one wedding invitation that never arrived? Or was it a powerful signal that the royal family has finally moved forward without Harry and Meghan? The silence from both sides only deepens the mystery. No dramatic confrontation, no public feud, just an empty space on a guest list that everyone noticed. Sometimes the loudest royal scandals aren't created by what is said. They're created by what isn't. And right now, that missing invitation may be saying more than anyone inside the palace is willing to admit. The wedding is over. The photographs have been taken. The celebrations have ended. But the questions surrounding Harry and Meghan's absence are only getting louder. And, judging by the growing speculation, this story may be far from finished.